Love you too. Okay, so hold on. I know Keri's probably already on and waiting, which she is. Oh gosh, I just clicked somebody else. Lord have mercy. There it is. Oh, I said Lama's not gonna come on here and look at me with those doughy eyes and get me crying.
Hey,
Hey,
I know. I was like, is she crying?
I was like, we're not gonna do this. You're
Oh,
all dolled up and cute.
well, not really. I'm just in jeans, but thank you, thank you. I
Oh,
had to do that for your,
you're so
your
sweet.
thing. I had to get fly. I wore my pink since that seemed to be the theme.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
No,
I never wear a pink lip. That was all for you.
thank
Things you never see on Keri.
Thank you so much. One, thank you for joining the book party for my first
Please,
book.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I can't believe I still got tears. I had an emotional moment dealing with Lamaya a second
Oh,
ago.
you know, them good girls, they'll get to preaching on you too.
Girl,
They'll
yeah,
lay it on down. Yes, both of them.
both of them.
Both of them. Such sweethearts. Like, just, you can't beat that. Beauty and
Inside and out.
intellect and talent and groundedness. Like, it's the beauty is really just inside too,
Yes. Aventure, she's chimed on. She said, hey, Keri.
Hey, Aventer.
Yes. Oh, my God. So, the book is about just, this is so funny, you guys. When I asked Keri, I said, hey, can you come do this live with me for my book? She said, oh, finances, honey. That's not my thing.
Like, that is not, knowing your strengths
Yes.
is one thing. Knowing your weaknesses is also a strength.
Amen.
Okay?
I was like, no, I said, the book is truly on mindset. I said, the book is about living in abundance and living your best life and being
Yes.
free of the fears that surround people that they have about money. It's not about
Okay.
make $1 million, go make $1 billion. I said, it's not that at
Yeah.
all. I was like, it's totally about just your mindset. And you stay in such, from what I can see from the outside, I will say, just even looking in, you stayed like right here. Like, despite what's going on in your life, you pretty much stay right here. So what principles are you using, or what practices are you using to pretty much just coast through life, regardless of anything that happens, to stay right there?
Whew. God, really. I mean, my meditating, my reading, I'm not like a regimented or scheduled out type of girl, but I love to vibrate high, and I fight for that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And sometimes it's a harder fight than other times, like right now. But to stay grounded and like, um, in who you are and whose you are, like that is just the key. I've never known peace, mental clarity, and calm like quite like this. And you learn it, you know what I mean? Time and experience. We all go through girl stuff and relationship stuff, and no one's exempt from hardship. I just lost my father, but I've been okay. I've been good. You know what I mean? So that just God in a nutshell, like your practices. If it's lighting candles, if it's your Palo Santo, if it's like saging your home, if it's meditating, if it's yoga, if it's baths, which I love. You just gotta, take care of you. I'm getting a skip. Okay.
My charger in. I'm like, but we can make it through 20%.
Okay.
I'm like, I tried to plug my charger in,
We can make
but
it. We can make it. We can make it.
yes, most definitely. Now I have a question though, because like I said, the book
Okay.
it talks about like your mindset around money. Did you guys talk about money growing up in your household or no?
I was aware of certain lessons with money. I was aware of them because my mother was a business owner. She still owns her daycare center. And so her being an entrepreneur and my father being a builder, I would be privy to hearing, but I think the conversations more came from my mother. Like count every penny. That's the lesson. That's it. That's the book.
Like count every penny.
Count
But
every
somehow,
penny. Yes.
the reason why I ask people like what their upbringing was like around the subject of money, because it sometimes has shaped who they are today.
Yeah.
You have kept your mind in an abundance mind state. And I know that just from being around you. You live in abundance all the time. So what has kept you there though?
I can't, it's hard for me to answer that only because I've always felt like money is just not my God. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know from like growing up in Decatur and being one of 7 in a family, one of 5 kids, a family of 7, like it's just not flowing. You know, we did okay, but it's not like, you know, so you have to learn to make do with a lot less, especially when you have a big family and you know, so I think that's really just, I always feel like it's coming. It's not like I do a whole lot to attract it. And I think that's what keeps it coming is the fact that I don't, you know what I mean? I don't,
You're not hoarding. It's not controlling. It's not obsessing.
I'm not hoarding
You're
it. Yes.
trusting.
Huh?
You're trusting.
I'm trusting
You're
that
trusting.
God will sustain me no matter what. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trusting that there's not a worry that I need to have as it pertains to finances. And that has worked. I don't know where I got this. I don't know. I honestly don't. But anytime I've ever been stressed or concerned or needed to, the thought goes right away and God comes right on in. So I think with experiencing that, you just relax and in that trust, you're just like,
you relax.
everything I need, as long as I work hard and make good connections and do good by people and do what I'm supposed to do as a human, give and don't hoard it. Like you said, that's so important. It's so important. So
That's
important.
true. Av talked about that a lot in her session. Now the book has 7 principles.
Okay. And by the way, I haven't got my book yet. I know I was waiting. I was watching the mail. I know there's a book and there's more curls products coming for me.
Nothing came in your mail yet?
Nothing came yet. No.
Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay. You know I'm gonna read it. And I already use Curls products. So
yes,
they're already in my bathroom. So
oh gosh, I'll tell her because
Yeah.
she was tracking all the delivery.
I'm excited.
Like everybody should have their Curls package, but it's okay. If you guys are watching, there's a giveaway going on. If you follow Curls and comment on their last post, you can get a free Curls collection. So just be mindful of that. But
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to go through the 7 principles. There's a lot of it you even touched on, but the first is the belief principle. And the second principle is the thought principle. It's about us policing our thoughts. And when negative thoughts come into your mind, you need to put those out with positive thoughts because, of course, it's going to then later on shape your reality. And the third principle is the speech principle. The things that we speak have to be in alignment with what we desire to see in our lives. Like that is key.
Speech is prayer. Yes.
Yes.
I don't need to make everything so religious, but this is me. This is what I have to offer is, you know, that aspect.
Like you said, it's me. It's what I have to offer, my gift to the world. The next principle is the action principle, is the work that we have to put into it. And the next principle is the sowing principle, which is the giving principle. So when you were just talking about, you know, having to share as a big family and things of that sort, Av and I, we went in about how I was basically saying I've sustained my life on this principle. I've only worked one place for 30 days. And ever since then, that's in my adult life. And I have been an entrepreneur.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Yes. When I met you, we were sitting on Maisha's couch at the salon on Melrose.
Yes.
And I will never forget because you stopped. You were like, Arian, you work with Chris, right? And I said, yeah. And then you were rocking the consistent mushroom at the time, but you were getting your weave taken out. So your because I paused and you said, oh, it's Keri. And I said, oh. Not catching on.
Do I really look that different?
To me, not now. But then, yes. Because
because I was always wearing the bang that was covering my entire forehead, face, and nose. Like, it was like, I get it. I probably did look super different with it all just gone.
Yes, and I was like, oh, Keri, yes. And I was, hold on, I regress. But yeah, we were talking about just the sewing principle, how that has sustained my life. So when I met you, I was in full-blown entrepreneurship. I'm still in full-blown entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that is, and it's true. That's the way I've always known you.
Yeah, I 30 days, worked for
Blessing.
Bottoms, got laid off because the company got sold. But it's the giving principle that has truly just sustained my life. It has. I gave when I didn't have, I give now that I have, and it
Yes.
really sustained my life. And
Yes.
that's what we were talking about prior to. I said it works regardless. I don't know how or why, but it's what's kept us consistently. It's
I think it's got something to do with like the karmic principles. When you think about it's sowing, you know what I mean? Sowing is sowing. You're planting a seed that you may reap
yeah,
harvest of some sort back. It always comes. It's a cycle. And so that's just how the world and the universe works. It's just the way of the world. It's the law of the land. You
yeah.
give,
I
you
said
receive.
first
And
of
it's
all,
yes, yes. And it's not even like you should give with the intention of like what I'm going to get back, because honestly it's not always an even exchange. It's not always that you reap money because
from
you
where you
sowed
are.
money.
I know what you mean. Yep.
Yeah, it's not always an even exchange, but it's always an equal blessing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's always equal to your intention. Yeah.
exactly. Your intention. Because like I said, you may sow in one place, but you may reap that harvest somewhere else.
Somewhere else. Yes.
But
Yes.
I love how you even related it to just agriculture. So people can just see the visual of that. When you plant the
Yes.
seed, you water it, and then something grows from that.
Yes.
And that's exactly like you said, you're sowing, you're participating in that process. So yeah, it's no different than the law of gravity. It exists whether you like it or not.
This is true. You could try it, you could not try it. But
Hmm.
you know, these are I mean, people say these cliches and things for a reason. It's like it's actually real. It's actually there are laws and there are things that drive this universe, and that's one of them, especially when you do it from love and you're not
Yes.
giving to receive, especially when something, and you don't just throw your money anywhere. You should find places that fulfill you to plant that seed. You know what I mean? Things that touch you, things that bother you, things that you should, you know, I don't just throw my money at any cause that I don't care about.
But there
I
is something to care about that I want to talk about.
What's
Africa.
that? I care about a lot, but
Africa.
I do. I love Africa.
So go into that about what you do there and just you're giving in that space.
Okay. So anytime my first trips there, actually most of the trips that I've had there were based around a show. And even before I had the Keri Hilson Foundation, there were causes that were specific to that region, like abuse, domestic violence for women, and rape and things like that. Orphans, you know what I mean? Like, so we would always, the trips would be planned way less about the show and more so about what's happening in this region. I care. I care. You know what I mean? It's my heart would be tugged as I always research where I'm going. I always look up, you know, kind of the ways of where we're going, the laws, what the people are experiencing, what it's like to live there. I always try to visit some. I don't just do the tourist experience. Like I want to see and feel and, you know, walk through and touch the people like in reality. You know what I mean? So as I'm doing my research, I figure it out, and we kind of ask the promoter to connect us with someone who works genuinely and passionately in that area of need. And usually it's for women and children. But yeah, like I said, this even before my foundation, I was just doing that. We were sending school supplies, backpacks, sporting goods, full backpacks, you know, full from, I partnered with Nike and we sent these backpacks to orphans. I can't remember the name of the school, but that was in the Ivory Coast. And we did that for a few years. Like we were making sure that every school year that we were sending off these shipments. And it was a very, you know, it's not an easy thing. It takes a very long time. It takes a lot of money. I'm, you know, bringing in sponsors when and where I can, but I would go to the store with my assistant and we would go and just, what would children want? What do they need? What would they like? So it was very passionate, you know what I mean? So, that's what, you know, every trip is, I couldn't even name them. I've been there 15 times now. So, every trip there is some philanthropic aspect, and I just can't feel good as a human going to places where there is a need that I can fill and I don't do it. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm here for. That's not why I was given the platform that I was given. I've never believed that. So I have lent my celebrity to a lot of causes. But yeah, Africa's special.
No, that is so beautiful. I'm just in awe hearing about your work over there and just all the work. No, I am.
I
I am.
love it. I love
Awe. Now, after the sewing principle in the book, there is the relationship principle.
it. Okay.
And one thing that everybody has come on here and they've talked about your mindset, how it pertains to who you hang around. And everybody has honed in on the fact that, you have to surround yourself with great people. Like how you saw, I was tearing up. You're like, oh, the good girls will do that because she's
They'll
hanging out.
do
It's like,
it.
oh, they will do that. They will get you
Uh-huh.
in that space. But just express to the people as far as how important that is to surround yourself with good energy.
You mean as it pertains to the finances or not necessarily?
Well,
Just,
really, it's like I say more so just your mindset, just in general, just good energy.
oh,
Like I'm big on energy management. People know I'm huge on energy management. And I won't give
right, yes.
does not need my energy, and I'm not going to put my energy over there if it's not needed. And I'm
Yeah,
very good on the energy that I walk into a room with. I'm
yes.
very good on the energy that I surround myself with.
True.
So in the relationship principle, it does tie into money and the fact that relationships are currency. But like I say, most of it is definitely around just mindset. So with that
True.
being said,
Okay.
the people you hang out with, how does that, of course, affect your lifestyle?
Um, greatly, greatly. Um, I've been very blessed. I call them my angels. My friendships have, some of them are 30 years old. You know what I mean? I'm still friends with this core group, but then God has placed some new friendships. And by new, I mean like decade and, you know what I mean? Um, through a specific time, a down kind of time in my life. God has like just sent me all these like angels, and one is actually my stylist, Jillian Coggins, who Jillian, and she's become one of my very best friends in this world. And we worked together for so long, but we had never known each other that intimately. It was very work, client related, but you know, I just can't. I'm so grateful. Like the friendships that I have, I know God was like orchestrating these and giving me these divinely inspired angels that would tell me things that I needed to know to nudge me on a right path in a certain area of my life, or get me off the wrong path in a certain area of my life. And so that's what your friendships are meant to do. Like this human interaction is divine. It is meant to show you who you are, reflect that back to you so you can see yourself clearly, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, understand and love and accept yourself so that you can be authentic and show up and fulfill your divine purpose in the world. That's the whole point of friendship. So that if there are liabilities to your energy, your spirit, it's assets and liabilities. And
Mhm.
that's life is just really that simple. A friendship is an asset to you or a liability. And yeah, they fulfill certain areas. You got friends, maybe for, you know what I mean? Those of us who are social, we know you can compartmentalize that, and that's fine. Um, but I think there's so much purpose in that. You know what I mean? Because you can go through life just lost without your friends, without the right friends. You will
That,
continue to be lost, you
that
know?
is,
And yeah, and right now I'm so glad your book even touches on that. Like right now is so important to like show up in the world um, as who we were designed and called and created to be. That's that's really the only thing we're called to
oh,
do
we're here.
while we're here during such a time like this.
That
It's
is
so
so,
important.
yeah. Um, that is so true. I wrote this book last year, not knowing that this year, of course, was going to look the way that it looks. So now,
Let me
go
That's
ahead.
amazing. That's amazing. Arian. So you're another one. I can add you to the list. There's something that is called preemptive intuition.
Mm,
And that's what God gifted you with. And I know so many people. That's why my mouth dropped. I was like, another one. So many people around me have had these kinds of moves where they're they might have pivoted already 3-4 years ago. In
Mm-hmm.
one case, it was 6 years ago, and people were feeling just driven to something else. And that something else is exactly what the world is needing right now. So
Woo.
that was divine. I got chills. I have them right now. I wish you could see. Can you see the chills on my arm? Like, what?
Wait,
I
you
don't
just
think
gave
it's
me
really
chills
translating.
for another reason, though. So
Huh?
you just gave me chills for another reason, and I'm not trying to even. No, it's still on topic. So the reason why you just struck me is because a couple years back, Pastor John Gray is in here talking about Keri's wisdom is it's like
He said, what?
eyebrows are awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Don't pay him
He's
any
so
mind.
funny. Hi, Pastor John Gray.
What was I about to say? Oh, in reference to our Fearless Fund, where we invest in women of color businesses early stage at a pre-seed, seed, and Series A level. When I'm telling you, got into it about a year or so ago and some months, not knowing that we would be in this place right now to be able to invest in Black women at the rate we're able to invest in them at such a time as this.
Yes.
Not knowing that, Black Lives Matter is about to take on a whole new phenomenon to where as I'm even talking to you, somebody just texts, the head of D&I for Intel needs to talk to you. Like, people are just reaching out because they're looking for outlets in order to be able to support Black equity.
Yes, they
And
are.
not have a vehicle already in place to be a vehicle that they can pass through in order for this to work, that this time wouldn't even be here. So when you said that, it struck me like all over. I was like, wait
that was a whole nother aspect. So
yes.
yeah. And money, like, that's another thing. Like, even just having conversations around, people are having to save, people are having to figure out, they're pivoting, they might be quitting or laid off or furloughed. Money is a topic right now. You know what I mean? You never knew last year that we'd have to really have real discussions around money.
At
you know
all?
what I mean? You were just being driven, being guided, just serving your purpose. And that's what happens. You know what I mean? And I'm sure your friends like supported it because they felt it was meant to be. It was meant to be. So those two things, and we need to talk because I'm working on something that supports Black females, especially small businesses. So I want to talk to you about that offline, but I think that's awesome. And who even knew that we would even come to a place where we realize the importance of building our economic base and having our economic power? Who would even know that we're now on, like, it's Operation Black Wealth out this piece right now? That's what time it is. That's one of the spokes on the wheel. Yeah.
It's huge right now. I will say this to my parents.
We should have been on that
mindset. Yeah, really? My parents were always on that.
Mine too.
Credit them. Yeah. But now it's the world sees it, and I'm like, okay.
The world and all of us, all people of color are realizing we bought into the capitalist mindset. We started to become hoarders and just take care of our small community of family, yourself, a couple people, and that's it. We've cut off the responsibility that we should have stayed community minded. We would be so much further along if we would trust each other, if we would do business with each other, if we would hire each other and stop chasing, I won't say what I normally would say, but stop chasing the other checks from the other colors. We have to, now it's happening. We're waking up, and it's by design. I don't think that it was, I don't think that it was just haphazard or that we didn't trust each other. That was very systematic. It was very intentional.
Yeah.
We were conditioned to not trust each other and to not have the community mindset that we had in Africa and that we come from. So I do believe that, it was a lot of conditioning. And we're seeing that in so many aspects that we've been conditioned to, feel about ourselves in every way.
It's so right now, the shift that's happening in the world has the biggest silver lining ever.
Yes, it does.
It does.
It really does.
That 2020 was going to be a year of vision and clarity and revealing that so much is being dug up, so much could be corrected to be set right. Like this
Yes.
reset that we are living in spiritually, personally, professionally is just, it's huge.
It's going to be beautiful and make it worse before it gets better, but it has to do that.
That's
You
what I said,
know,
dug
you
up.
gotta,
Yeah.
yeah, even in our personal lives, like you don't become your best self until you know what rock bottom looks and feels like. Like there's something about that rock bottom that really teaches you a lesson. When you've been, you know, kept from hitting that, or do you have someone about to come on? We just going over. Are we?
I forgot. Yeah, not we're good. We're good right
We're
now. We
okay.
got
All
about a
right,
few
let me
minutes.
know because we can do this all day. But
We
yeah, there's
got a
something
few
about
minutes.
rock bottom that really is so pivotal in a life.
Yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean? And
foundational. And that's so
yes.
funny you said that. So the last principle in the book is the stewardship principle. And I didn't become a great steward of my money until I did hit rock bottom. So that's when
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, this is probably right on time because I was headed to that principle anyway.
Okay.
And that's, I talk in the book about, like, I had this toxic relationship with these Italians, and people are thinking I'm talking about men. And the Italians, honey, was Versace, Fendi, Prada, all the designers. I said it was toxic. I said I was given to them and it wasn't given to me.
Okay.
But I had to go through living out of my car and being without and having that experience in LA at 23 in order for me to get to that place to say, you know what, Arian, you need to save here. You need to be giving here. You need to live like this. And just learning how to do what you can with what you have. Like Avana, we talked about that, and it just doing, when you said you went over to Africa and you're like, I know I have this platform for a reason, so I need to do what I can with what I have.
What I have.
And people need to realize that on all levels. Like, people are not expecting everyone to be a celebrity with all of these different things. Whatever it is that you have, that is your gift to the world.
That is your gift. That is your gift. And we are to make and mold that, you know, like some clay and make it stretch. You know what I mean? We're meant to. And you said something that I almost tweeted. I actually drafted it because I was going to tweet it, but I was like, it's too late in the night to do this. My thoughts come at night. But you said exactly how I feel. We have to, or you, I guess you were getting there, that relationship, the toxic relationship with these Italians. And listen, man, we have to now, I just want to be like, okay, Black people, we can spend our money on meaningful things now again.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Can we spend, you can still spend, but can it not be so superficial? Can it return more? Can it be more fulfilling than a handbag and heels? Now, I'm not saying
Yeah,
I
because we
don't have these
out.
things. Yeah, I'm not saying I don't have them already, but even the celebrity friends that I have, we ain't shopping. Who's shopping? Who cares about that? You know what I mean? Like, it's a necessity time. Nobody's frivolously spending. And I mean, none of my friends, top to bottom, ain't nobody, it's not that we couldn't, but no one's interested in that. The world has changed, it's shifted, and everything we were doing means nothing now. You know what I mean? We have to spend our money on meaningful stuff, plants and farms and businesses and things that return, helping others, and, you know, meaningful shit.
Oh, somebody said, oh gosh, I've been in so many lives now with the book, but they touched upon basically like when you make a purchase, you're doing it with an emotional decision that you're now trying to give logic to.
Ooh.
Yes. And I love how you just said, no, we have to spend our money on meaningful things. Because, yeah, you're right. Somebody will go shopping frivolously and they'll try to tell themselves they're doing it for some reason, trying to rationalize it to try to.
Yes.
It's time for us to put our money
Just throwing our money
our
into everyone else's cultures. Just throwing our money at everywhere. I'm looking at it now, like, I mean, of course I partake. I've never actually been super materialistic, but I've had my moments where, like, no, it's my birthday. This is just this past birthday. I'm looking at this Louis bag that I haven't worn in 4 months during quarantine, and I'm like, damn it, why did I do that? That was just stupid. Not, you know, it's not a huge regret, but it's like, that's point. I'm looking around at all this stuff I don't need and don't even have to have anymore. You know what I mean? It's just, we have to now, my focus is so different. It's so different. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. I agree. I'm just trying to get a charge. That's why you see my back.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. We didn't make it. We didn't make it. It's
I'm
getting
like, let me
scary.
make sure. Let me make sure we
So,
stay because we're saving all of this. I'm like, let me make
okay.
sure I
So I
stay.
have a question.
Go ahead.
Is the book now? It's in stores already, right? On
No, it's
Amazon.
on pre-order. It's on
Oh, it's
pre-order
on pre-order. Okay. Okay.
August 7th. And I'm like, we're having this book party. But yes,
Yeah.
people can pre-order it now. But yeah,
Uh,
have access to some sitting around. But yeah, it's in
yeah.
pre-order now. But most definitely go get the book on Amazon.
It sounds amazing. I actually need to read it. Like I was going to read it and I wanted to read it because it's you, but now I'm like, okay, yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be a couple of days. There's some, there's some principles that me and numbers ain't never been friends. So I could, even though I've made great decisions where it involves money and saving, and you know what I mean. I've made some great decisions. I'm grateful, I must say. However, there are some things this is a time for learning. This is a time for teaching, and I just want to absorb as much that I don't fully grasp as I can right now. Like I'm a student of a lot of things.
Life
So
right now, people
yeah,
are.
so yes, so money, finances, certain things, taxes, how certain things work, was absolutely on my list of things that I wanted to go to school to do. Not go to school, but figurative school,
Yeah.
not a literal school, but I wanted to become a student of that. So your book is timely for me personally also.
Oh, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, and Keisha even chimes in, Night Pulliam. She says hi somewhere along
Hey,
the.
Keisha.
Yes. And she says, so we do the Fearless Fund together. We're co-founders and investing in Black women.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
I love that. Yes. Okay.
So yeah, I'll call
That's
you
so
later
awesome.
after this. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's have a conversation about that. It
yes.
may, I don't know if it's, I'm sure there's whatever. We'll
Yeah,
talk.
we'll find some synergy.
I'm being all carefully like, but yeah, I support, and I'm so glad that the world is like now, like we're so like we're coming together, we're waking up, we are caring about the right things again. People are have the blessing of time with family and friends, like being able to sit down and relate to one another in a way, or make calls or FaceTime or do this virtually, like connecting in ways that we really didn't make time to do. Like, what a blessing that has been, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Perspectives.
I said, yes, perspectives. I said the world has learned the biggest lesson in empathy because not at any point in time have we ever gone through something together. People have different trials and tribulations in their life that they go through separately and people can support them. I said, but this is
Yeah.
the big lesson in empathy because we're all going through it together. Well,
Yes.
thank you, Keri.
No, thanks for having me. This was
Girl.
fun. This was fun. I can't wait to get my book and my curls.
Oh,
I'm a
thank you.
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? This is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna deep condition my hair under my. I'm gonna do the little four section. While I'm deep conditioning, that's when I'm gonna read your book, just in honor of you and curls. Thank you. I'm really gonna do that. I'm really sentimental. I think in these ways, like, oh, let me tell her that's a cute little nod. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll snap a pic when I do it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, you know what? I should have kept it. I should have kept it.
What?
I just actually moved it back to Dropbox, but oh my gosh, Keri, I'm going
What?
to put it on my stories after this. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I'm going to post it on my stories. What you just said, I'm going to just have to say it though. And I'm going to post it on stories. But what you just said, you did when I released my first Fearless magazine. I have a picture of you getting deep conditioned under the dryer, holding the magazine. Just wait for
What?
it. Just wait. I'm going to post it in stories after this. So that's so funny.
That's
yeah.
funny. So when I post mine, it'll be the new book.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Wow. I'll do a slide.
I'm
That's fun. Then and now.
I
Okay.
know.
So
Oh my gosh.
I know you've got someone, I don't know, was it 4:30 or
I
4:45?
in front of me. Yeah, it's either 4:30 or 4:45. But
Okay,
yes.
so it's 4:36 now. I guess we'll split the difference. But I had to do this. I'm so happy to be able to support and, you know, lend my platform for a moment
Thank
to
you.
celebrate you. And you have always been um, a true gem, like a real class act. In any room that you're in, you're very social and you're very approachable and you're all these things, but you have a good circle. Like you can tell that you have a strong foundation of your close friends. You may extend yourself to others, but I can tell, I've always been able to tell that she must have some really powerful sisters behind her, around her, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
thank
So
you.
I've always felt that way about you. I've always felt a great energy, even though we, recently connected more. Um, but I'm really proud of you as a Black woman. And I know your heart. After we did the Potter's House together, and
Mm-hmm.
now we got to super relate and understand each other even more, beyond like passing in events or whatever. So I love your heart, and I appreciate what you're doing. So I look forward to see, digging into what you're up to, this book.
Ah, thank you so much. Thank you. You're so grateful. Well, I will talk with you soon because we got
Okay.
guests to connect on.
Okay. Okay.
But thank you for sharing your wisdom, your space, and your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. I'll stay tuned in.
Okay, I'm about to hop off for a minute.
Okay. Okay. Oh, all
Okay.
right. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, y'all.